This art is inspired by the Shema. So we have the verse in the Torah of the Shema that we've been using as a people as a daily meditation for thousands of years. So we can learn how to do the meditation of Shema on deeper and deeper levels. But very simply, there's 6 words that are in the Shema. Right? We have Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. So those 6 words, we learn have a correspondence to the 6 points of a Star of David. When we say the Shema, we close our eyes, right? Because we're trying to go beyond what we could see, trying to go to higher consciousness. So the art here is like trying to look inside, go into the inner eye. It says here, Shema Yisrael. Shema literally means to listen. So the art here is made out of the sound waves of the shofar for that idea. Now we learn in Kabbalah about the preciousness of Emuna, the preciousness of believing. Our normal, natural state is to much prefer something being revealed and knowing something to a state of believing in something. Right? Much rather have God's goodness become revealed to us than for us to believe in it. So Shema, which means like to listen, listening in Kabbalah is a code word that represents believing. And seeing, on the other hand, on one way of looking at it, is a code word that has to do with knowing, with being revealed. If we hear the voice of our friend, so we believe it's our friend. But when we see that it's our friend, then we know that it's our friend. So hearing, we learn, represents believing, Shema, and seeing represents knowing. So Kabbalah is trying to get us to realize and have a higher consciousness that believing is on some level even more precious than knowing. Because in the state of knowing God's goodness, it becoming revealed to us, it's a state of receiving the goodness on a simple level. But a state of believing in the goodness is a state of giving. Right? The goodness becoming revealed and knowing it is a state of receiving. And believing in the goodness is a state of giving. When we love somebody, then we believe in them. So, although our general natural hardwiring is that we're yearning naturally for the revealment of the goodness, Kabbalah is trying to get us to realize that a state of believing is even more precious than the knowing. So we learned that our whole spiritual development is an interface between knowing and believing and knowing and believing. Every level of belief that we reach, spiritual level, a level of believing, a level of unconditional love, a level of giving, then allows us to be able to experience a higher level of experiencing God, because we're experiencing it in the way of giving and loving. So as we're learning to develop and increase to higher and higher levels of believing and unconditional love, we become able to experience higher and higher levels of experiencing God. Now, again, our normal natural state is that to sort of suffer through the believing to reach the level of experiencing and knowing. Right? Well, we could naturally work with Emuna and belief in order to reach the goal of the goodness becoming revealed. But Kabbalah is trying to help us reach an understanding and awareness, a very high spiritual consciousness, that believing is higher than knowing, and that we can use all of our experience that we merit to as springboards towards higher levels of belief. Instead of using all of our Emuna to reach divine experience, we can use whatever levels of divine experience we merit to strive for higher levels of Emuna. That Emuna, that believing in the goodness, is in some way like the ultimate state, if we could appreciate it. It says when the Torah describes the nation of Israel at Har Sinai, in the receiving of the Torah, when we reach this highest level of divine experience, it describes the sound of a shofar, a divine shofar, and says that all the nations saw the sounds. Right? Reach a level of realizing, of awareness that like our state of Emuna, our state of believing reached this level of divine experience. It was as precious to us as divine experience. So, this idea, if we can actually, understand it in our heart, is like so deep, because if we actually reach a state where believing is even more precious to us than revelation, believing in God is even more precious to us than experiencing God, then this moment right now is the ultimate moment. This is a moment we have an opportunity to be in a state of Emuna, a state of belief. We learned that some of the spiritual masters that reached the highest levels, after going from Emuna to experience, and reached the highest levels of being able to experience all the divine goodness we're here to experience, because they've reached a level of complete unconditional love, and they're experiencing all the goodness in the state of giving and love, so they can experience it in the ultimate way. There's no reason they need to leave that state. They've completed the journey. We learned that some of those people choose, whatever this means, to come back into the hiddenness, because they appreciate the state of Emuna and all of that spiritual work to be in the state of giving and love, even more than appreciating the revelation. Which again just gives us to contemplate that the more that we're appreciating the state of Emuna, the state of giving, the state of love, that this moment we're in right now, whatever it is the ultimate moment.